Okay, today we are going to look at chemtrails. And when I say that, I'm not talking about contrails. I'm talking about the ones that essentially end up covering the sky, and they usually end up in some sort of crisscross pattern or like a hashtag, like hashtag chemtrails, you know. But they turn sunny days into overcast days, and that shit is not normal. So let's see what is going on. Random word. Pickles. I don't know why pickles keeps coming up. And a random number 13. Let's just see what we got going on with these chemtrails. What is this shit? Okay. Well. The root card is the devil. Well, there's an interesting combo, the devil and the ace of cups. Now, I mean, honestly, it should be noted that I'm pretty sure both of these have shown up in World Economic Forum readings, right? But the root card of the devil, obsession and possession. Again, the devil is dancing on the scorched earth. Now, right away, this is making me think of like some sort of geo transformation thing, like affecting the weather and the climate. Um, Now, the main card that we get is the Ace of Cups. Now, what I'm really getting out of this, at face value, the Ace of Cups is about happiness and openness to being fulfilled. But what I'm really seeing here is a stream of energy that the moon is blowing down into the water, into the cup. So, my interpretation of these two is some sort of fucking geothermal or like whatever, like some sort of weather controlling shit that is literally meant to put stuff into the water. Now, I had considered a bunch of possibilities. I thought maybe that it was done just for masking, to like block out satellite images and stuff like that. I had not considered that it was meant to put things into the water. So let's see what leads up to this. Like, what the hell would cause people to do this? And it's a creative collaboration. So it's a few different groups working together to do this, and let's see where it goes, like what actually comes out of it. And it's the Emperor, and it is control. Now, it is interesting to note that the Emperor is controlling a figure that looks an awful lot like the devil, right? So here the Emperor, like he controls that shit, and he's got his footstep down on it. He's putting his staff down there, and I'm pretty sure this is the same figure. So it is about controlling the devil, and the one that would dance upon the scorched earth. So, I mean, looking at this, it looks like some groups are working together to drop something in the water or whatever is happening here. I mean, that's the way I'm reading it. And ultimately to control the energy that would leave us with a scorched earth. So this would be theoretically doing something good for the environment. And maybe this is, I mean, this was a fact that Bill Gates was like working on a project that did exactly this, like literally exactly shooting out the big trails from airplanes to block out the sun, to combat global warming, right? So this looks like that's exactly what the deal is. Now, let's look here to see what actually comes out of this, because they might fuck this up, whoever they is, you know. Let's see what comes out. Huh. So we get the Six of Swords, And the Six of Swords is like leaving the burning place and going to the new place, letting go of conflicts. I mean, I guess the thing that is kind of sticking out is just the fact that it's an airship. Um, or it could be that through this, maybe a continent really super gets fucked, and then everyone has to leave and go to a different continent because they left one on fire. Um, so that might look bad depending on where you are. I guess even if you're in this place, then the rest of the world's population, or whoever they choose, goes to this place, and then, suddenly you have all of the issues that people deal with when it would be the largest migrant scenario maybe in human history. So let's just look at potential downsides. I mean, other than destroying a continent. Um, huh. So we get the Page of Cups. And I think what's really showing up here in potential downsides is the fish. So this, maybe it does something good for the atmosphere or whatever, but following this trail that deals specifically with the water, I would say that this might actually fuck up the fish. Um, the only other thing, well, there's the whale in the background too, but the only other thing that I would say about this Page of Cups, like a downside, this is not a card of commitment. So the downside would be not finishing the job, like just doing it for a little while and then being on your merry way. But I feel more like this is literally talking about the fish. So now I'm going to pull a card just to see who is at work here. Now, the military obviously is one of these fucking three pentacles, right? There's no way that they're not. So let's just pull a card to see, like, what we got. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is inheritance. So honestly, I would say this is old world wealth, right? So this is the fucking mega rich people that have always owned everything. And obviously they're working together with the military because they're the ones that have the logistics to actually do this stuff. And I also know people in the airline industry, people that I trust, and they're like, that shit is ridiculous. We are not fucking spraying chemtrails across the sky. This isn't fucking Delta. This isn't United Airlines. This is some other shit. And we all see it. You don't have to look very hard to see this stuff. So we have that sort of government, framework and the logistics and what I am taking as old world wealth. And here, the other two might actually be the old world and the new world wealth, as we see the grandparent and the grandchild. So I'm just now I'm looking at this through the theory that they probably fuck up a continent. Um, so I'm going to look here at America, like, or the North/South American continent, and that is a card of harvest. It's also a card of like things moving very quickly. So I'm going to look over here at Europe. That looks like this is like same old shit. So let's look at Africa. Oh geez. Uh, yeah. Looking at this, Africa might be the one that gets fucked because this is the death card. Now, with the way that the death card works, what would probably happen is it would be raised for something else. So, I mean, it would still be utilized in some fashion, but it just wouldn't be where the people lived. And honestly, if you look at a map, like a big map, and you look at the continent of Africa and you see the Sahara Desert, it wouldn't take much for that desert to take over the whole continent. You know, that shit is enormous and it covers everything near the equator, you know. It's fucking huge. And you can, if you look at the green and you look at the sand on one of those big maps, you can definitely see how that would probably be the continent that would get screwed over the easiest. Now, I'm going to look at Australia. Whoop. All right. So there, that's interesting. We get the witch practicing witchcraft. I'm not going to take this as a sign that Australia is one that gets super fucked. Um, we'll look real quick at Asia, and Asia also looks fine. And why not look at Antarctica? And we get Seven of Cups, and again, that looks okay. Here, in this model of things that it looks like the cards are talking about, Africa is the continent that gets screwed. So, that is our reading on chemtrails. I would love to hear what anybody has to say about this, because, I mean, I've listened to programs on Coast to Coast and, like, watched videos for years on this topic, and I've never felt like I've gotten any closer to the truth, right? So I would love to hear any shit that people know, any sort of theories or whatever that you have, or comments on this. Peace.